everyone. I'm going to walk you through how to make my walnut garlic kale salad today. One of my favorite hobbies is to try to make healthy food taste really good. I love seeing the look on my friends and family's faces when I tell them what's in a dish, and I absolutely love seeing them go back and get second helpings of something that's really good for them. So I'm going to walk you through this recipe today. It's super easy. Chances are you might even have most of the ingredients on hand. It's not expensive to make, really simple, and it's a crowd pleaser. So let's get started. I always start with dinosaur kale. There's different types of kale in the grocery store. I prefer this type of kale because it's a little bit heartier, and this is kind of a wet dish. We're gonna make a garlic walnut paste. So since this is a heartier leaf, it stands up to the mix better. If you don't like kale, spinach is totally fine, or whatever type of green, but I would recommend spinach. I've definitely done this recipe with spinach or a mix of kale and spinach, comes out just fine. So I've already got our kale taken from the stems here, and I'll just show you how to do that. So the dinosaur kale has a big thick stem in the middle of it. You really don't want that in the salad. Since we're not cooking the kale down, it's not soft and it doesn't taste so great in the salad. So let's just take it off the stem and I'll show you how to do that. It's really simple. You just peel it off. Sometimes you can even get it all in one fell swoop. And if you compost, great. You can throw all these stems in your composter. So that's that. I'm just gonna set this to the side for now. We'll put all the good stuff on top later on. So if you don't have a food processor, you won't be able to make this recipe, unfortunately. I don't have any alternatives. You could potentially use a Vitamix, or probably not a blender, but maybe a Vitamix. But a food processor is such a good tool to have in the kitchen. So if you don't have one, I highly recommend investing in one. And I use mine all the time. Even just a small one is perfect for any recipe. Really, you don't need a large one. I have a large one because I use it all the time. So here's my food processor. And to start with, we'll add the walnuts. So I typically use about a cup of walnuts. You can add a little bit more. That was kind of a heaping cup because I have a big bunch of kale, so I wanted to use just a little bit more. I already have friends that have plans on eating this salad later on today, so I'm making it a little bit larger. The next thing that I add is fresh garlic. So a nice big head of garlic, and I like a lot of garlic in my food. If you don't like a lot of garlic, just keep it to 1 or 2 cloves. But I really enjoy it, especially during cold and flu season, because garlic is great for immunity. So little trick here to open up your garlic clove. So lay the garlic clove on the counter, rounded side down, put a sharp knife over it. Be really careful. I do this all the time, so just watch your fingers, but give it a big crunch, big slap, and then you can peel the peel off the garlic and just pop it in. So I'm gonna do that with the other ones here. Super simple, just make sure that you have all of the skin off of your garlic, and voila, there's your garlic. So now we have our garlic and our walnuts in the food processor right now. I'm gonna add the olive oil. So just extra virgin olive oil, Trader Joe's. Most of what I'm using today is from Trader Joe's. Again, this super simple recipe, nothing fancy about any of this. So I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of the olive oil, and then I'm going to lock our food processor. And my food processor has 2 settings. There's the on, which just continually spins, and then there's the pulse. I usually just use the pulse setting in this recipe because otherwise the nuts get stuck to the side and it's just less scraping. Speaking of scraping, make sure you have a scraper. So gonna be a little loud here for just a second. I apologize. So I'm just toasting it, keeping an eye on it. Now, if you need to add a little bit more olive oil to make it more of a paste, it's kind of what you're looking for, is like a paste consistency with this, then do that. I usually add just about maybe a half a teaspoon at a time, just a little drizzle. All right, we're gonna put it again. So it's starting to look a lot better. Turn my camera in. There we go. And I'm gonna scrape the mix down. And this is actually perfect right here. This will work really well. So I'll show you kind of what it looks like right now. And then before I even take it out of the food processor, that's when I add some sea salt. So I prefer Himalayan pink sea salt. There's a lot of minerals in Himalayan pink sea salt, so that's why I use this. And I find that you barely have to add any at all. So I'm just gonna do like really a tiny pinch. A little bit goes a long way. So it's in the whole recipe, probably less than a quarter of a teaspoon of salt is needed. So I'm gonna kind of mix this up a little bit, and then I'm gonna move our bowl of kale back over, unlock my food processor here, and I'm just going to dump all the contents of my mix on top of the salad, just like this. And I'm gonna take out the blade there. Just be really careful with that. But yeah, put all of your mix on top. Looks so good. You can also give your mix a little taste and just see like how much salt is in there, and that will kind of help you gauge how much salt you actually need to put in the salad too. So next we add a little lemon. Just be careful not to add your seeds into the mix. You'll get you and your guests will get a little seed surprise in there. You want to try to avoid that. So just half of a fresh lemon. Super easy squeeze. You can also use a lemon squeezer. I just use my hands. I don't mind getting my hands a little bit dirty in the kitchen. So just squeeze it over. The lemon juice also breaks down the kale a little bit, makes it a little bit softer. So got a couple seeds there. Get those out. All right, try my hands a little bit. And then I like to do another drizzle of olive oil, just maybe another half a teaspoon, quarter teaspoon. And then I do another pinch of salt, the Himalayan pink sea salt. And then I massage the kale at this point. You can use tongs if you don't want to get your hands dirty. But I much prefer to massage the kale. Again, it makes it softer. Kale, so a lot of people don't like raw kale because they say it has it's chewy. They don't like that they have to chew the kale so much. This, the massaging with the olive oil and the lemon juice definitely makes that a little bit better. So give it some good tosses and just coat all of the lettuce with your mix. And sometimes the mix will fall to the bottom, so just make sure you're scooping that up and getting a good even layer of the mix all over. And voila, you have your walnut garlic kale salad. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.